स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्ति रामकृष्णे स्थिता ह्य सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Let us offer our salutations mentally to the all-pervading, blissful Spirit, in any name or form. Let us offer our salutations to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharda Devi, Swami Vivekananda, Sri Adi Shankaracharya, Devadidev Mahadeva, and all great teachers, saints, sages whose teachings we have inherited. May they inspire us with love for the truth. As you inhale and exhale, think of positive vibrations, peaceful vibrations, strong vibrations, and healthy vibrations entering into your body and mind. They will destroy all the negativity, impurities, restlessness, weaknesses, and diseases. Slowly breathe out positive, peaceful, pure, strong, and healthy vibrations. Think deeply that beyond the body, the energy in the body, the mind, the intellect, and the Anandamaya Kosha is your real nature. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Ananda Swarupaha. Let us send positive, peaceful, pure, friendly thoughts to all people, east, west, north, south, known and unknown, on this very sacred day. May all obtain the blessings of the great Lord, worshipped in various names, in the Jyotirlingas and in other places. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। Let us chant quickly Shanti mantras, then proceed forward. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha. Repeat. Vishrunuyama Devaha. Bhadram Pashye Makshabhiryajatraha. Sthirairangai Stuštuvagam Sastanubhihi. Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu. Swasti na Indro Vruddhashravah. Swasti na Pusha Vishvavedah. Swasti nastarksho Arishtanemihi. Swasti no Bruhaspatir Dadatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Yaschandasam Rishabho Vishwarupaha. Chandobhyo Dhyamrutat Sambabhuva. Samendro Medhaya Sprunotu. Amrutasya Devadharano Bhuyasam. Shariram me vicharshanam. Jihva me madhumattama. Karnabhyam bhuri vishruvam. Brahmana koshosi medhaya pihitaha. Shrutam me gopaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Tacchayora Vranimahe. Gatun Yagnaya. Gatun Yagnapataye. Daivi Swastirastunaha. Swastirmanushebhyaha. Urdhvan jigatu bheshajam. Shanno astu dvipade. Shanchatushpade. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. Namadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Now, 5 shlokas of ISA Upanishad book is there. Those who don't have, share with the neighbors and chant properly, clearly. Om Isha Vasyamidagam Sarvam. Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagat. तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जीथा मा गृधः कस्य स्विद्धनम् कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि जिजीविषेच्छतगं समाह एवं त्वयि नान्यतेतोऽस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते नरे असूर्यानामते लोका अन्धेन तमसावृताः तागंस्ते प्रेत्याभिगच्छन्ति एके चात्महनो जनाः अनेजदेकं मनसो जवीयो नैनद्देवा आप्नुवन् पूर्वमर्षत् तद्दावतोऽन्यानत्येति तिष्ठत्तस्मिन्नपो मा तरिष्वा दधाति तदेजति तन्नेजति तद्दूरे तद्वन्तिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ Yes, we were discussing the first words, first mantra of the Ishavasya Upanishad, ending with Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kinchit jagatyam jagat. Whatever exists in this universe is to be covered with the Lord. Tena tyaktena bhunjita magrudakkasya svidhanam. It is nobody's wealth, it all belongs to Isha, because he covers the whole charachara jagat. Everything that we see, everything that we know and that we don't know, everything is covered by God. So we will start with the lecture which Swamiji gave on the Ishavasya Upanishad, title being God in Everything. I had quoted only the first paragraph of that explanation which he gives for first line. Whatever exists in this universe is to be covered with the Lord. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. Then after explaining that, Swamiji continues, Vivekananda continues, we have to cover everything with the Lord Himself, not by a false sort of optimism, not by blinding our eyes to the evil, but by really seeing God in everything. A very important statement. By really seeing God in everything. Thus we have to give up the world, and when the world is given up, what remains? God remains. What is meant? Wife, children, everything else is there. To turn them out of doors? Certainly not. It is not religion, but see God in your children. So in everything, in life and in death, in happiness and in misery, The Lord is equally present. The whole world is full of the Lord. Again and again he is stressing that particular sentence. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. Is a beautiful reminder and a serious reminder for the sadhakas. Then he continues, the whole world is full of the Lord. Open your eyes and see Him. This is what Vedanta teaches. Give up the world which you have conjectured. Tena tyaktena bunjita. Because your conjecture was based upon a very partial experience, upon very poor reasoning, and upon your own weakness. Give it up. The world we have been thinking of so long, the world to which we have been clinging so long, is a false world of our own creation. Give that up. Tyakta, renunciation. Open your eyes and see that as such it never existed. It was a dream, Maya. What existed was the Lord Himself. It is He who is in the child, in the wife and in the husband. It is He who is in the good and in the bad. He is in the sin and in the sinner. He is in life and in death. What a tremendous assertion indeed. Yet that is the theme which the Vedanta wants to demonstrate, to teach and to preach. This is just the opening theme, he says. We avoid dangers of life. Do not desire anything. What makes us miserable? The cause of all miseries from which we suffer is desire. You desire something and the desire is not fulfilled. The result is distress. If there is no desire, there is no suffering. So it is necessary to explain what I mean by giving up desire. Tena tyaktena bunjita. And becoming free from all misery. The walls have no desires, they never suffer. The chair has no desire, it never suffers. But it is always a chair. There is a glory in happiness, there is a glory in suffering. The great lesson in misery, we all know. Hundreds of things we have done in our lives, which we wish we had never done, but which at the same time have been great teachers. As for me, I am glad I have done something good and many things bad. Glad I have done something right and glad I have committed many errors. Every one of them has been a great lesson. I, as I am now, am the resultant of all I have done, all I have thought. Every action and thought have had their effect, and these effects are the sum total of my progress. And regarding the second sentence, he says, we all understand that desires are wrong, but what is meant by giving up desire? Tena tyaktena, and he says, enjoy. Bunjita, Upanishad says, bunjita. How could life go on? It would be the same suicidal advice, killing the desire and the man too. The solution is this. Not that you should not have property, not that you should not have things which are necessary, and things which are even luxurious. Have all that you want and more. Only know the truth and realize it. Wealth does not belong to anybody. Kasyasvid dhanam. That is the meaning here. Wealth does not belong to anybody. Have no idea of proprietorship, possessorship. You are nobody, nor am I, nor anyone else. All belongs to the Lord. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. Because the opening verse told us, put the Lord in everything. God is in the wealth that you enjoy. He is in the desire that rises in your mind. He is in the things you buy to satisfy your desire. He is in your beautiful attire, in your beautiful ornaments. This is the line of thought. All will be metamorphosed as soon as you begin to see things in that light. If you put God in your every moment, in your conversation, in your form, in everything, the whole scene changes, and the world, instead of appearing as one of woe and misery, will become a heaven. So that is how he explains the first shloka, first mantra of Isha Upanishad. Still more few points are there, we will come to that. Now a quick summary based on Shankara's understanding. Whatever we see in the world, what we remember, there are human beings, there are animals, there are flora, fauna, there are flowers, there are plants, water plants and plants in the gardens, everything. The mountains, the birds, the rivers, so many things we have. Hardly few things we know, that's all. Everything should be seen as God. Ishavasyam idam sarva. Bring in the X factor called God factor. Sri Ramakrishna's best example is 0, 0, 0, number of zeros, no value. You can buy anything, you cannot use it. But put number 1 in front and 2 zeros will become 10 to 100 to 1000 to million. It goes on to trillion, billion, zillion, as long as that 1 is there. The 1 is very, very, very important. That 1 is God, is it? Remove that 1, whole thing becomes zeros. So we are all zeros in this world. Unless the X factor called God enters, we have some value. What is the value of this mic? It is because of the electricity. So similarly, in my life, your life, everybody's life, that God factor, not the rituals, not just the festivals, but the Spirit of God, of seeing God, as Sri Swamiji mentioned, don't seek God somewhere in Himalayas or somewhere. See, He is in front. Open your eyes. Ajnana timirandasya gnananjana shalakaya chakshuran militam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Take refuge in God. Take refuge in the Guru, Guru Adesha, Guru Upadesha, Guru Sandesha, and the Guru Mantra. And what will happen? Ajnana Timira will reduce. Slowly that cataract will be removed and you see God. So just like the aquatic creatures, the fish and the alligators and so many things in the river and the ocean, how are they living? Because of the water. The backdrop is water. All around there is water. Remove water, they will die. So their entire basis is water, 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 jalam, jalam, inside, outside. So also the beings mentioned above, birds, mountains, rivers, so on and so forth, and all human beings, chara and achara, that which are mobile and that which are stagnant, all are living in God, all are moving in God, they are filled with the divine. This is the first shloka which clears the road for all of us to go and understand what is the Atman. Then we have to understand how are we able to see the stars in the sky. It is because of the backdrop of the sky. In the sky, in the space is the stars. So because there is a background, we are able to perceive. How are we able to see a movie in a theater? It is because of the backdrop, the screen. The screen is unaffected. The space is not affected, over which we see the whole thing. So because the God factor is there behind, we are able to move chara achara. So that memory, Ishavasya Upanishad again and again and again teaches us, have the God factor. So it is in the backdrop of the space that we see the stars. Similarly, all beings are having God as the backdrop or as the curtain. Since we overlook the fact that in death and life, in good and evil and in everything, we have to have the God factor as the most important sadhana. And the Upanishad reminds us by saying, Ishavasyam idam sarvam. Again and again we have to listen to this, meditate on this, think about it and apply it in daily life. Swamiji says, when you go out, don't see man, see God. Remove that gender, remove that bifurcation, remove that division, remove that bedha. It is God. Tell your mind it is God. He is your Ishtadevata. You have a personal God, you have an impersonal God, it is God. With Sakara or Nirakara, Saguna or Nirguna, it is God. Then, continuing the second sentence, please refer your book. It says, is very deep. And I said in the previous class, last Sunday, Tena tyaktena, etc. Tena tyaktena bhunjita. Enjoy by giving up. It looks paradoxical. Now, if I give up, what will I get? Let us go deeper. Renounce. How is it possible to renounce and then to enjoy? Give up being a slave, that is important. Give up being a slave, work like a master. Slave has bonded labor. Slave is under tremendous tension, stress, worry. But the master has no problem at all. You may do slave's work, but don't do with a slave's mind. That tamasika mind, that selfish mind, that has to be avoided. Work like a master. It can be sweeping work, it can be scavenger work, it can be coolie work, doesn't matter. As long as you have a master's mind. So give up being a slave and think that you are only a trustee of the property. No proprietorship, Swamiji says. No possessorship. I is mine, I and mine, I and mine, I and mine. They spoil the whole music of the life. What remains after giving up is Amrutam, says Upanishad later on. Give up and see what will come. You will get back more than what you deserve. Feel the happiness, feel the joy, feel the immortality, Amrutatvam. Those who drink the nectar of immortality will become immortal. Sri Krishna refers in the 3rd chapter, Karma Yoga chapter, and are freed from the tangle of worldliness. Paraspara bhavayanta shreyah param avapsita, he says, Sri Krishna, by mutual cooperation, by giving to nature, by giving back to God. What are we giving to Shiva? The Bilvapatra with our ego, everything. If we give, then offer it back. Surrender, do the Abhishekam mentally. And what happens? We are gaining more and more peace, more joy. Sri Ramakrishna's example. How do I give up but at the same time enjoy? What is this giving up? Tyaktena. Sri Ramakrishna comes to our rescue to understand that word. Tyaktena bhunjita. Say you have a desire, you have a wish to eat jackfruit. But when you start cutting the jackfruit, within 5 minutes your hand stops. The knife will not move because of the gum, ajiguru. So thick it is, the knife will not move, your hand also is not moving. But you have a icha to eat the jackfruit. So what do? Cry? No. You smear oil. You smear oil to your palms. You smear oil to the blade of that knife. Then start cutting. Smoothly you will be able to cut through that jackfruit. And you enjoy. Asakti, anasakti. The desire may be there, but you should know how to enjoy. People want everything of that whole society, whole market should be in their pocket. And at the end of the day, they suffer. I and mine, I and mine. So it is like a mirage that people are running, and at the same time they are defeated. They are not enjoying. They are being enjoyed. Whether it's wealth, whether it's business, they think they are enjoying. Show me who is enjoying life so peacefully. Always worried about something or the other. They're not able to give up. So Sri Ramakrishna says, when a man enjoys a thing, he develops interest in that and gets attracted and spends sleepless nights. Trying to acquire it in good quantity. He is worried about the quantity. He is not worried about the quality. So develop that detached attitude. Tena tyaktena bhunjita. Because that is not your wealth. Kasyas vidhanam? Whose wealth are you thinking it is? So this should be kept in mind when we are living a life. So there is, in Greece, the great Pythagoras was there. Pythagoras theorems people study in school. What does he say? He gives a great example, a great philosopher, deep thinker he was. He says there are three kinds of people who come to witness the Olympics. Three kinds. The first kind are the participants, the players, the runners. They are involved, they are deeply involved. They have given their life for that. This is the first category. The second category, they don't play, but they will use the players by betting. They will be standing outside and they will be betting, they will do their business there, they will do all sorts of things. They have no time to watch the game at all. But there is a third category, those who just come to enjoy the game by witnessing. They buy a ticket, buy some snacks, sit there, enjoy the game, then go back. Sri Ramakrishna says, look, that witness attitude is very, very important. You come into the world, do your best and get out of it. Contribute something wonderful to the world, make it richer, make it more peaceful, then say goodbye. That is my life. So the third category says, develop that anasakti. What is Bhagavad Gita? The entire Bhagavad Gita, Gandhiji gave one word, it is anasakti yoga, the yoga of detachment. Tena tyaktena bhunjita. Magradakasya svidhanam, the last sentence. What does it say? It's like a big reservoir, your wealth. Imagine massive reservoir full of water, but it is just there. There's no pipeline, there's no utility, it's just getting evaporated. What is the use of that reservoir? It's not helpful for the people. So similarly, the knowledge, the wealth that you get should be of utility. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, it comes. Swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. Deva pitru karyabhyam na pramaditavyam. Do not give up. Swadhyaya, study and pravachana. Pravachana not for showing off your panditya, but to share the knowledge with others. Don't give up. Deva pitru karyabhyam na pramaditavyam. Unfortunately, one section of society is giving up the Deva Karya and Pitru Karya by just giving donation or some anadhanam. They don't want to do it. They think it's a waste of time. It's a waste of life for him when he doesn't offer some gratitude, gratefulness to the Pitrus. Minimum. Not by donation, not by putting up some plaque somewhere. Deva Pitru Karyabhyam na pramaditavyam. Because you are in the world, you are a householder. You have got your runam, bhu runam, pitru runam, daiva runam, rishi runam. It should be utilized. It should be given back to society. And what remains after distribution is the excellent one and the pure part. That payasam will be there. You may have any number of anything in the world, wonderful dishes, but the end is very, very important. That little payasam which is offered, just one spoon, people are saying, oh, wonderful. They forget all other things. Because that is condensed, that is heated, that is boiled, it has been offered. Similarly, offer it to God. Tena tyaktena bhunjita magradakasya svidhanam. So now, just impersonally you observe from early morning till night. And some birds and some things are active in the night. What are they doing? They are giving back to nature. They may be consumers initially, but afterwards, when they gain strength and more opportunity, they give back to nature. Whether it is the trees, whether it's the rivers, whether it's the sun, the moon, all are contributing to maintain ecology, maintain that balance, the biodiversity. That's why humorously some pundits, some scholars say, if the tree is eating, the mango tree is eating its own mangoes, what will happen to you and me? With the flower trees, the gulabis and the marigolds and the hibiscus is swallowing its own food, is decorating itself, it never allow somebody to touch it. What will happen? Whole nature will get stagnant. Similarly, understand that tena tyaktena, give up mentally. At the same time, physically also be detached, be detached. Tena tyaktena bhunjita ma grida kasya svidhanam. It's a very important shloka which is for renunciation, as we have learnt last Sunday. Now the second shloka, second mantra. These are all mantras for listening and meditating. The second mantra, we will take it up. Please repeat again. Kurvanneveha karmani jijivishe chatagam samaha evam tvayi nanyate tosti na karma lipyate nare. Karmani kurvani eva. First mantra is all about renunciation. It is for sannyasis or those who want a quick, what you call, push forward. Give up, give up, give up being a slave, give up being a slave. Tena tyaktena, ishavasyamidam. All full of renunciation. Then now he says, those who cannot do that, those who cannot give up tyakta, their responsibilities, their household, they have so many desires. All right, they also have a chance. What is that chance? Karmani kurvanyeva, doing his work, allotted duty, vidyarthi dharma, grihastha dharma, an officer's dharma, an upadhyaya's dharma, do that nicely. Karmani kurvanyeva. But it is as if it should be based on the scriptures. Shastra pramana, Shastra adhara is very important. Say you buy a new mobile or buy a new fridge or a TV. The moment you open the box, on the top that owner has kept a manual. Follow this, he says. So the manual contains what are the new things, what are the new facilities in that. You may know, you may not know, but you have to follow. Otherwise, it won't work. You have to go back to factory settings. Similarly, our Sanatana Dharma has given a particular scriptural code of conduct. Bhagavad Gita is our best, nearest for spiritual constitution. For governance, for welfare, for Abhyudaya, there is the Constitution of India. But there is something called a spiritual constitution, scriptures. Dharma Shastras are there. Follow them, he says. So Shankara uses here. Follow them. Your work should be based on the scriptures. Then iha, in this world, karmani kuru, do your duties. Satam samaha, for 100 years you can desire. You have a desire to live for 100 years. Welcome. Normally we have been blessed, as Upanishad says, Vedas say 100 years. Shatam samaha, a healthy life of 100 years. In between wrong life and wrong food, somewhere infections and it gets cut off. But 100 years is a great blessing if you can live a full life, 1 century. Jijivishet, you may want to live for 100 years. Evam, in this way, O man, O nare, karma na lipyate. If you do it nicely based on scriptures, the fruits of your work will not attach themselves. A great blessing, a great hope they have given. Will I suffer? Will I get tangled in this worldliness? No. Why I will not suffer? Why I will not get caught up in this world? Your work is based on Shastra, scriptures, detached work you are doing. Carry on that work. Do it nicely. Wonderful people are there who are doing this detached work. There is no other way. Anyatha na asti. See the words there. Evam tvai anyatha na asti na karma lipyate nare. O man, follow this, follow this, follow this. So the translation goes like this based on Shankara. It is there in your book. A man may wish to live for 100 years, performing his duties as prescribed by the scriptures. O man, O Nara, if you do your duties in this way, then the results of whatever you do will not cling to you. In the first sloka, tena tyaktena, give up. Here, doing karma, doing your work, you will not get entangled. You will not be bound. This is the goal. Dharma, artha, kama and moksha. You may have artha, wealth, but it should be based on dharma. You may have desires, kama, but it will be based on dharma. So dharma is the key there. Virtuousness, righteousness. Follow that. So the earlier mantra was a call to renounce. This mantra, second mantra, kurvaneveha karmani jiji vishechatakum samaha, is be in the world, but don't allow the world to live in you. Sri Ramakrishna's example. సంసారంలో ఉండు, పనిచేస్తూ ఉండు, సంసారం నీలో ఉండకుండా జాగ్రత్త వహించు. If samsara enters into you, you will drown. If the water enters into the boat, it will sink. Either way, it is a disaster. So that art of swimming, the art of skimming, the art of skiing is to be learned. That is the Shastras. That sadhana we have to cultivate. Kurvan neveha karmani. In this world one should desire to live 100 years, but only by performing actions. Thus, in no other way can man be free from the taint of actions. Shankaracharya says beautifully, so far as the knower of the Supreme Self is concerned, the purport of the Vedic text, that is the first verse. The self is to be saved, is Shankara's words in his commentary, Shankara Bhashya. The self is to be saved through firm devotedness to the knowledge of the self. Where will you find satisfaction? Where you find the trupti? Second chapter Bhagavad Gita. Sita Prajna Lakshana, first shloka after Arjuna's question. He says, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogata. Give up. Sarvan kaman manas, in the mind. Then what will you get? Atmanyev atmana tushtaha sita prajna stadochyate. Your happiness is within yourself. Self in self. That is what Shankara says here. The self is to be saved through firm devotedness to the knowledge of the self. After the renunciation of the threefold desires for children, putraishana, vittaishana, wealth, desire for wealth or property, and the third desire which man has is lokaishana. What is lokaishana? The desire for other worlds. Some seats, some enjoyments in this loka, that loka, this swarga, that swarga, gandharva loka, and drinking loka, so many lokas are there. as if it is not sufficient here. So in sannyasa what happened? These three aishanas, desires, are given up in fire. What are the three aishanas? Putraishana, the desire for children. The desire for acquiring property. Not your property. We are sannyasis in the Ramakrishna order. Not our property. We are only caretakers. All property belongs to Sri Ramakrishna. And no worry about other lokas also. We have only one loka, moksha, Ramakrishna loka. So by brahmacharya, by giving up, by service, whatever wealth comes, it goes back to society in a systematic way. And why we are doing it is for the final moksha, liberation. Atmano moksha jagathita, both simultaneously goes on. As far as the other person is concerned, who cannot give up the desire for children or wealth, property or lokas, there is a way. Householder on one side, the sannyasi is on the other side. That is the beautiful bridge called Amrutasya Setu, built by Sri Ramakrishna in Dakshineshwar temple. He had these 16 disciples, young disciples, who were all renunciates, were all monks, young people, 18 years, 19 years, 22 years. But they have, Sri Ramakrishna brought in householders also. That is the future of Ramakrishna Seva. He brought Surendranath Mitra, he brought Mahendranath Gupta, he brought Kalipada Ghosh, he brought some women devotees and said, take care of these boys. So he built a beautiful networking between the monks and the householders, which we call Ramakrishna Mat, Ramakrishna Mission. Why? Based on the Upanishadic tradition. Some we have given up directly, quickening our progress for moksha. The second is the householders who live in the world but cannot give up these three aishanas, but still they want something. Their chance is there, opportunity is there. Now comes. So, the desire for other worlds, lokaishana, all this comes under the Vedic context. The Vedic schools, this is really clearly prescribed. We are not going into those details. So as far as the other person, the householder is concerned, who is unable to cognize the self, understand what the Atman is, because of his mental preoccupation with the non-self, Sri Shankara's Bhashya. Atma, Anatma. Atma, full knowledge of the Atma is for the sannyasis. Some are involved with Anatma, with the world. For them, the second verse is mentioned. They are not able to hold the grip on the Atma, but they are working continuously with the Anatma. So this second verse is for those people. So life on earth, by this second shloka, what do we get? Kurvanneveha karmani jiji vishe chatagam samaha. Life on this earth has got some meaning, some significance is there. Having understood the meaning of life, purpose of life. What is the purpose of life? Go back to the scriptures again. Moksha. What is the last chapter of the Bhagavad Gita? Moksha sannyasa yoga. That mentally you give up the attachment to this bhoga and this material vasanas or the aishanas, and be free to become liberated in this life. Ihaiva, ihaiva. So having understood the meaning of life, we must try to live our lives to the full span mentioned in the Vedas. Shatayur vai purushaha. Shatayur vai purushaha. Shankaracharya says, Tavadhi purushasya paramayuhu nirupitam. It is proved that man has been given 100 years of life. Somebody was making a calculation, funnily. 100 years, okay. But unfortunately, this greatest friend of man called Nidra takes away 50 years of your precious life. 50 years of your time goes away in Nidra, 6 hours per day or 8 hours per day into 30 days a month. And non-stop, no holiday except today. Today we will not allow you to sleep, those who are here. We will be constantly moving up and down, up and down, up and down. One day, O Nidra Devi, please don't come, let us see tomorrow. 50 years goes. Then how much is balance? 50 years. Make it 2 parts, 25 years, 25 years. The first 25 years divided into 2 parts, 12 and a half, 12 and a half. The first 12 and a half goes away in diseases of the body, taking care of the diseases, going to this hospital, going to that x-ray, going for this treatment, continuous fever, something or the other will be there for the body. 12 and a half years of the time. And another 12 and a half years goes away in old age diseases. వృద్ధాప్యంలో వచ్చే రోగాలు, కళ్ళు కనపడవు, పళ్ళు రాలిపోతూ ఉంటాయి. Becomes so complex. So 25 years goes away in diseases, taking care. And how many remains? Another 25. And what is the problem of modern the ignorant man? LKG to PG. He has to study 25 years. And when will you meditate? When will you fulfill the Rana? When will you attain God? Shankaracharya beautifully says that moment you realize that you are wasting time, stop and then start your meditation. That is Vairagya. తెలిసిందిగా ఎక్కడ వేస్ట్ చేస్తున్నామని. వెళ్ళిపోతుంది ఆయు 60, 70, 80 ఇంకెప్పుడు. When will you meditate? He says now. Not tomorrow, not next Sunday. Now, he says. Give up being a slave, as Sri Ramakrishna beautifully refers. Two farmers are working. One farmer's wife told, see, he is renouncing one by one, one his wife, then children, one by one. What you have done? Wife was trying to test her husband, how much he can give up. But the second husband, where his wife also made fun of him that you are not able to give up. Other fellow is to at least give him one by one. Says, what? One by one is giving. Look at me. Everything I will give up. Took his towel and walked out. Sri Ramakrishna says, the Tivra Vairagya came to his mind. I don't care about anything else. He didn't even look back. So this 100 years has got so much of examples. Tavadhi Purushasya Paramayuhu Nirupitam. Pramanam is there. That long, verily, that long has been determined to be the length of human life. 100 years. But the point to be highlighted is not just the quantity of 100 years, but the quality that you have led. So we develop, Vedanta says, Swamiji mentioned again and again, bring in the divine factor, the God factor, see God and enjoy. Don't go into jealousies and lust and greed and all sorts of dilemmas and suffer in life. Quality is possible only with the zest for knowledge, the spirit of knowledge, acquiring more and more knowledge. And wealth, let it come. Because you have wealth, knowledge, Saraswati, Lakshmi will come. Lakshmi will follow where there is pure knowledge. But you manipulate, you corrupt, you destroy something, evidence, etc., then Alakshmi, Nashyatam, everything is destroyed. So the spirit of inquiry is required to experience joy. So the greatest truths that come in the first shloka and the second shloka of the ISA Upanishad says, the greatest truths do not permit you to be only on the surface. Life is not just on the surface. What do you get on the surface? Only dirt. Noraga antam, ordinary shells and ordinary things. But dive deep into that sadhana. What will you get? Sri Ramakrishna says, on the surface only shells which float, which have no weight at all. But pearls lie in the depth of the ocean. That's where you are Shatagam Samaha, but you should know how to give up. The art of work, the secret of work. Swamiji's Karma Yoga lectures will help us. Remaining we'll take up next Sunday. Om Purnamad पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ तत्सत्। श्रीरामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु।